Welcome to another episode of Undercard Heroes. My name is Francisco.
And I'm Heather, and today we're going to be giving you our picks for UFC Fight Night, Reinier de Ridder versus Brendan Allen.
This is a really interesting card. There's a lot of really good fights on here with some very close money lines, and I think that we found some value.
Let's get into it.
First fight I want to talk about, Marlon Chito Vera versus Aiemann Zahabi. Let's talk about Chito. This guy never been finished in the UFC. He is extremely durable. Took a ton of shots from Sean O'Malley, never got put away, and he's got great finishing instincts. 6 finishes here in the UFC. As soon as he's got you hurt, he really piles it on. He's got strong kicks, front kick, leg kicks, body kicks, very strong kicks, but he is a slow starter. We saw that in the Pedro Munoz fight. He probably let go of those early rounds, really started to come on late, ultimately got the decision win there, and he can be too reliant on power shots, his counters, his power shots, and you saw that in the Sean O'Malley fight. He just got pieced apart. He couldn't keep up with Sean O'Malley, his lateral movements, his technical striking. It was just too much for Vera, and he really was just looking for that killer shot at the end, and he takes a lot of damage. You can see here he's got negative striking differential, but pretty good takedown defense at 72%. Taking on Ariel Helwani. No, just kidding, Aiemann Zahabi, but he looks just like him. Very methodical striker, technical in his abilities, very tight guard, keeps a tight guard, counters really well with his right hand, and this guy's got great lateral movement. His timing is incredible. We saw that in the Ricky Turcios fight. Really good example of his discipline and fight IQ. Turcios threw a ton of volume at him, but Zahabi stayed composed, picked his spots, and outstruck him cleanly. Footwork, fantastic, great defensive awareness, great counter timing, all things that could be a problem here against Chito, but he's not a finisher. He's only got 2 finishes in the UFC, one of them came most recently, and he's not as experienced as Chito. He hasn't fought the level of competition, coming off of a sort of controversial loss or win over Jose Aldo, one where Aldo was really putting him on him in the beginning, almost finished him. Ultimately, Zahabi got the decision win there, but a lot of people thought it went Aldo's way. I'm going with Marlon Vera to win this weekend at plus 105 odds. He could have a little bit of trouble against Zahabi's more technical, rangy style, but ultimately I think that Marlon Vera's experience, I think that his power and his discipline is going to come through. I expect him to invest heavily in his leg kicks early on and then start to pile it on later in the rounds. Next up, we've got Kevin Holland versus Mike Malott. Kevin Holland, I love watching this guy fight. This man was born to fight. He's almost never in a boring fight. His last 10 fights, only 4 of them have gone to decision, and 1 of them could have been stopped. His fight against D-Rod, back and forth fight, both of them trying to finish each other. He is a fantastic, entertaining fighter, and he's a versatile finisher. He can get it done standing, he can submit you. He's got 81-inch reach, which allows him to really strike from range, keep people at distance, and he can create some really interesting, unorthodox striking angles with that reach. He's got tons of high-level experience, but he can be a little bit inconsistent. You never really know what you're going to get with Kevin Holland, and he's got average takedown defense, 55%, but he does have a positive striking differential, and that really comes from his long reach. You know, he can keep people at bay. He doesn't take nearly as many shots as he gives. Mike Malott. This guy is a well-rounded fighter. He can also get it done anywhere, standing, submissions. He's got great finishing instincts, almost 100% finish rate in the UFC, with 5 of his 6 wins coming by finish, but he can struggle in high-paced wars. We saw that in the Neil Magny fight. He really poured it on Neil Magny in the first 2 rounds, looked like he was going to finish Magny, ultimately started to slow down in the third, and Neil Magny, being the veteran grinder that he is, was able to turn it around, and ultimately get the TKO win over Mike Malott. You can see he's got fantastic striking differential here, positive striking differential. and he does shoot, about 2 takedowns per 15 minutes. This is a tough one. Like I said, I love Kevin Holland. I want to see him win this fight, but we're going to Canada. Mike's got home field advantage. I'm going with Mike Malott to win this one by KO, TKO, or submission at plus 150 odds. Like I said, almost 100% finish rate with this guy. Almost finished Neil Magny. Had him in a lot of trouble early on with those takedowns, and ultimately, that is Kevin Holland's weakness too. I think Mike Malott can get this one to the ground, apply pressure, and learn from his mistakes against Neil Magny. And our main event, Reinier de Ridder versus Brendan Allen. RDR. This guy is undefeated in the UFC. He's got some quality wins over Kevin Holland, most recently over Robert Whittaker, and majority of his wins come by submission. We haven't seen that too much in the UFC. He's got 2 submission wins, but majority of his wins outside the UFC are by submission. He is a former 1FC champion. Not great striking volume. He tends to be a little bit more patient in the striking. You can see he still has a positive striking differential, but he relies primarily on his grappling and takedowns to win fights. Brendan Allen, this guy's got a strong submission game, really nasty rear naked choke. I went through his record, counted up all the rear naked chokes that he's got. He's got 17 victories by rear naked choke out of his 25 wins. Very impressive. You do not want this guy taking the back, and he's extremely durable. He's taken a lot of damage, especially in his recent fights. He's got a win over Marvin Vettori, but then before that just fought a killer's row. Fluffy Hernandez, Kyle Bahalio, Nasruddin Imavov. So he's got really high-level experience in the cage, but he does tend to struggle with more talented strikers. You can see there he's got a negative striking differential. In this main event, I'm taking RDR to win by submission at plus 185. I do think RDR gets it done here. I feel like this is a lot easier fight for him than the Fluffy Hernandez fight would have been. I was really excited to see him fight Fluffy Hernandez. I think the winner of that fight would have gone on to fight Chimaev. I think even though Imavov probably deserves the title, that would have been a more interesting fight to me. And I just don't think that Brendan Allen, anytime you see him step up in competition, he doesn't win. He doesn't get the win. He can't take that next step up. So I'm going RDR to win by submission at plus 185. Thank you for watching another episode of Undercard Heroes.
So what do you think about Francisco's picks? Is there anything we missed? Anything you disagree with? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
Thanks, everyone.